what we're working on right now is solving for distance between 2 points, and in order to do that we need to use the Pythagorean theorem. This is the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. The c always represents the hypotenuse, which is the longest side of a right triangle, or it's the side opposite the 90-degree angle, either way you want to look at it. A and b are always the legs. Okay, so we're going to start with number 2 here. This is on page 352 in the book. We're doing 2 and 3. 4 is for my more advanced ones who want to challenge themselves. And I'm going to work them out both for you. And then in a little bit we'll combine the actual points with this Pythagorean theorem. So on this first one, number 2, we can see that my hypotenuse is x because that's opposite from the right angle. It's also the longest side. 3 and 9 are the legs of this triangle. So I'm going to use parentheses before I substitute anything in, since that always helps me to avoid mistakes. My legs go here in these two. This is A and B. So my A would be 3, my B would be 9, and then my hypotenuse is x. So 3 squared right here is 9. 9 squared is 81. And then this is just x squared. 9 plus 81 is 90 equals x squared. We're almost done. The last step that we need to do is get x by itself. We don't want it with the square root. With the square. So the opposite of this square is square root, which looks like that. So we end up with square root of 90 equals x squared. Okay? The square root of 90 would be a decimal in between 9 and 10. And that square root can actually be simplified, but we're not concerned with that right now. Our focus is Pythagorean theorem and finding distance. So for right now, I want you to leave your answers just like this, with the square root of 90 or whatever, and then just box in your answer. We'll do the square root stuff later on. Okay, so that was number 2. Now I'm going to solve number 3. Okay, so again, my hypotenuse is 11 in this case. My A and my B are x and 7. I'm going to use the parentheses again before I substitute anything in. Okay, so in this case my hypotenuse is 11, so I'm writing that down. 7 is one of the legs and x is the other leg. So we have x squared plus 7 squared is 49 and 11 squared is 121. Our goal is to get x by itself, so I'm going to subtract 49 from both sides. Okay, this one I have to make 11 because I'm stealing from the neighbor, and that ends up being 0. 9 to 11 is 2, 4 to 11 is 7. Since I started with $121 and I take away 49, I have positive $72. We still have money left. Okay, this 49 went away, and all I have left on the left-hand side is x squared. My last step is just that square root that you have to remember to do, and that would be your answer. Okay, so that's all that you're really doing with those two.